interesting to know that you are with us. You made Equa Television to be your TV of choice. And this is Nigeria Now on Equa Television. We are live, so you can connect with us as you join in the conversation. I'm Sambo Solomon, and to do this with me today, I have Joyce Takada.
Always a pleasure. Pleasant afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Joyce. You're looking great.
Thank you.
Yes. PDP had her own share. This time around is APC, the ruling party. Yesterday we talked about something in relation to what is happening in APC. You remember yesterday you said, although the National Working Committee are still having the meeting, we don't know the outcome yet. And this morning.
Well, I'll choose to reserve my comments at this point.
You choose to reserve your comment. Wow.
But well, we just hope that the right thing is being done at the end of the day.
Well, I think this time is a critical moment that one thing with democracy, you can't rule smoothly, or you can't have a smooth government when the party that installed the government is not in place. Even though the excuses will be, yes, every party has our own ups and downs. This is our trying moment. But when at a time that you campaign and you win, you are expected to see how governance will start running smoothly, and then you are having internal wrangling, and then causing some division. But like you said yesterday, you can't take it out because some are for, some are for against. Some are against. That you can't take it out, but it depends on who rules. But now it seems like the ones that are for Tinubu are getting an upper hand. But we just pray that in all of this, Nigerians are watching. We will learn from the power tussle, the game that they play in politics, whoever that is playing it, and then we just pray that governance will not be mixed with
It was just yesterday, Sambo Solomon, that I was discussing with a patriotic Nigerian about the state of the nation and all of that, how leaders have made this look like it's a personal business, like it's more of personal interest, and how that Nigerians can just be gullible, like after seeing that somebody who was elected didn't perform, this same person will come back and make promises to you, and you will still believe and still vote for that person. In this country, we have people that have been in the National Assembly from 2011 up until 2022, and yet when you go to their state, when you go to their constituency, you see little or no development. Yet when another time for election comes, people still believe the lies. And somebody said that, see, anybody that believes politicians, it is at your own peril, because most times these people, what you see they do is just protect their personal interest. If it is against my interest, then I don't support it. But when it has to do with my interest, when it's going to represent my interest, then I fight for it. But at the end of the day, like I always emphasize, leadership is from the heart to the people. It is about service. And when you look at governance in its entirety, it's about improving the welfare of the people. Let's vote people. Let's support people that we know are patriotic, people that have integrity, people that are competent. That way, we are going to feel it when policies are even made, because the policies that will be coming out is going to be people-oriented policy, policies that will be to the benefit of Nigerians as a whole. Well, whether we like it or not, tussle for power will always be there. But amidst all of that, what we are pleading to our politicians, to leaders at all levels, is that can you look beyond your interests and look at these people that voted you to power? Can you vote and protect? Can you protect their rights beyond what you stand to gain?
Well, 5 billion Abacha loot, federal government in dilemma on investigating predecessors.
Well, the issue of the Abacha loot, Sambo Solomon, is something that has long been on the air. You will recall that over the years, we keep hearing on the news how that a part of the loot is being recovered. Year in, year out, you hear that, oh, this part of the loot is being recovered. But the questions that many Nigerians kept asking, how much is this loot in its entirety? And then how much has been recovered? What have these recovered loots been used to do. And it is because of this unanswered question that the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability group, talking about SERAP, has gone ahead to file a suit against the federal government. And it was, I think, in July 10th that the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the federal government to provide the details of how it spent about $5 billion loot recovered from the late General Sani Abacha. And you will recall that it was the Justice James Omotosho that gave the order, and while delivering the judgment on the Freedom of Information suit that was filed by SERAP, that said that the federal government must provide the details within 7 days of that judgment. Now they are looking back from the time of President Olusegun Obasanjo down to the time of Yar'Adua, the time of Goodluck Jonathan, and down to Buhari. And so the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration is being left or charged with the responsibility to actually go into and check the details of how much is the total amount of loot that was recovered, what has been used, like what are the projects that they use in a situation whereby the World Bank and other agencies have been involved in executing any project. Can you give us the details of how this fund was actually used, or how the project, can we see the project that the recovered loot have been used for? Because we live in a country where accountability and transparency is always an issue. It will interest you to know that while questions were being asked about this recovered loot, you hear things like, we don't have information, we don't have details from the Ministry of Finance and all of that, which is uncalled for, which is unacceptable. For every recovered loot, we are talking about revenues, we're talking about money that belongs to Nigerians. We're talking about monies that should be used to improve the welfare of the citizens. So having questions like, answers like we don't have details of all, is unacceptable. And so in line with the court's ruling, talking about the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, that the federal government must provide details. It's already the 7 days that the federal government have been given. I think it has elapsed. Today is 18th already. And so the federal government obviously is in dilemma in terms of investigating its predecessor and giving all of those details. But we cannot move on and then like acting like nothing happened in the past if we want to grow, if we want to develop. And that is why we keep emphasizing on the issue of accountability. It was the court that in its statement, like by the SERAP, that talked about the ordering of the federal government and then the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration to disclose the exact amount of money that was stolen. Because beyond, we recovered this amount, we recovered that amount, how much was stolen in the first place by the Abacha's regime from Nigeria, and then the total amount of money or the loot that was actually recovered, and all agreements that was actually signed on same issue by the government of federal former President Olusegun Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, Yar'Adua, Muhammadu Buhari. What are all the details? What are the signatures? What are the projects? Nigerians need to know. I remember that on one of our shows, I talked about the fact that we easily forget. Things happen and then we just move on without asking questions. And that is why we cannot grow, we cannot develop if we don't hold our leaders accountable. You will recall how I often say that, see, can we reduce our expectations as people, as citizens, and begin to hold these people accountable to their responsibility? If this person has been elected to be a representative of a constituency and you don't have road, you don't have light, you don't have basic amenities, social amenities, you can't have access to health facilities, can you go to these people and ask them questions? See, we elected you to go there and represent us, and then we are not seeing any development in our constituency. We are not benefiting or enjoying the dividends of democracy. Ask these people questions, hold them accountable already by them being at the National Assembly or by virtue of them emerging as governor, as president or whatsoever. These people, the agenda has already been set for them to represent the people, to take their plight to the National Assembly. What kind of representative are they? Are they the sleeping type of representative, or the representative that is always moving a motion that will bring development to its people? So Nigerians have to go beyond expectation and start holding people accountable. Set agendas for them. What are they there for? And that is why the federal government as well must not relent in its responsibility. It has responsibility to its citizens, and
yeah.
especially in terms of improving its welfare. If funds or monies that are supposed to be used to improve the welfare of the people, monies that are supposed to use for development of the country to make life better for the people, is being looted by certain administration, that it is your party, does not mean you should shy away from investigating and ensuring that the truth prevail. And in a situation where somebody is being found wanting, he faces the law. If we don't grow beyond this nepotism and then a political affiliation, godfatherism, or one affiliation or the other, then we keep going round the same circle of underdevelopment and going backward. If we want to develop like other developing nations, then we must be accountable. We must be transparent in all that we do. So already the date that the court has given, 7 days, that it has ordered the federal government to release the details, is already upon us. And so beyond the dilemma that the federal government is in right now, I think what is needful is for us to have the details of all of this information. Nigerians, they owe Nigerians the truth and nothing but the truth. And that's why I said, if we want to grow this nation, we must speak truth to power. Don't say, oh, it's my party that is involved. Oh, because it is my own person that is involved, so we should just let it go. No. We must correct it. It was in 2012 that a committee was set to investigate this issue of subsidy, how that some people have been using this money. Like a committee was set to investigate that. Not until today, nobody has been prosecuted. We cannot continue on this circle, forming committees, spending money on committees, and nothing is coming out from it. So just like the Federal High Court in Abuja has instructed, following the suit filed by Serap, I think the needful must be done, especially in terms of accountability, letting Nigerians know that the $5 billion recovered loot, what has it been used to do? Because if you allow this fly, another administration will come, loot, and at the end of the day, nothing is being done. People would think that, oh, I can actually venture into this, and then nothing will happen. But by the time leaders see that, when you tore the part of crime, you're going to face the law. People will not want to tore that part. So we must do the needful by standing for the truth.
Yes, of course. You see, my worry is that when you tag someone and you said he stole something, and then this is the amount that this person stole, already, you are calling the person a thief. Right? Okay. Now we said this is also amount, has been looted from the country's treasury. So already someone is responsible, and we already target. That is why they are saying Abacha loot. Even the money is attached to his name. So constantly, anybody in his family is being tagged with that stigma. But now, that particular money is being recovered, right? And then that particular money is being siphoned again by somebody. Then I think the right thing should be done. They should find out who took what, and that part of the money should be tagged to the person. The same way we are looking for the returns of the money, that is the Abacha loot, the same way we should look for the way to return those money from whoever stole from it, and his name should be tagged to it. Yes, because them too, they should feel what the Abacha family are feeling as that tag, on their name, Abacha loot. And then you can't expect to see the global world to respect you. This is somebody that you have already tagged his name, and you are getting the money, and then the global world is watching. And then some people are taking out the money, and then nothing is happening. To really dig out
Sambo
whoever.
Solomon, it's really shameful that a ministry that is saddled with the responsibility of managing the finance of the nation is saying that, we don't have any details of the spending of the recovered loot. Is really shameful. Like I think this will just place us on at the international scene as jokers, as jokers. So I think the needful has to be done, and I like the fact that the justice was actually specific with everything that was actually needed of the federal government, and it said that this application by Serap had merit, and it also ordered the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Finance to actually furnish SERAP. And like I said, not just SERAP, but even the citizens of Nigerians with full spending details of the recovered loot within 7 days, which I said earlier on that it has already elapsed. And then you will recall that also, according to SERAP, the court also ordered the federal government to disclose details of project that was executed with the Abacha loot, the locations of any of such projects, and the names of companies or contractors that carried or are carrying out the project since the return of democracy. And this is very important and needful. It also ordered the federal government to disclose details of specific roles that was played by either the World Bank and other partners in executing of any project under that Abacha's loot. And that is from the, like I said earlier, from former President Olusegun Obasanjo from 1999, since the return of democracy. This is what Nigerians are asking. This is what SERAP is actually fighting for. So this is what we are asking should be done, so that we will not keep going on the same circle of, oh, we'll find out and then nothing is being done.
Well, talking about loot, recovering money, now Abia State discover 2,300 ghost workers and save 220 million. Joyce, in this country, while we are saying people are suffering, masses are going through a trying moment, if you allow me to say this, and then you are having in a state. Just imagine we have 36 states in this country, and this is just one. Is that the way to go? If we really want to follow the path of success and greatness.
I think every other state should follow suit in what the Abia State government have actually done in terms of screening and then discovering all of this. Think about it, 220 million. That's to tell you that every month there are some specific individuals that are busy earning where they didn't sow. And in the same country where you have people that are actually qualified to handle certain positions, but they are actually not employed.
They are working, but they are not being paid.
Yes, in a country where people have been working and are not paid, in a country where there are pensioners that have not been paid pension for years, where some are even sick on their dying beds without even hospital bill, yet some people from the civil service are actually, in the disguise of ghost workers, are actually collecting 220 million naira. The Abia State government, I think we must give it to them for discovering these 2,300 ghost workers in its payroll system. And thank God that they are able to save about 220 million on monthly wage bills following the verification of civil servants and other public workers in the state. And you recall that this disclosure was made by the Accountant General, talking about Deaconess in June, and he made this known in Umuahia. And like I said, it is a good one on the state government, and I think other state governments should try the same part in terms of verification, because right now there are actually a lot of state government parastatals that when you go, you don't see anybody. You barely can see workers from 8 to 4 p.m. or to 2 p.m. at their closing time. Most people are just like ghost workers. You go to the payroll list, you see a lot of names, but empty offices. So where are the people? Yet some people that their family members have been civil servants that died, and they are trying to pursue their benefit. They keep going back and forth and nothing is being done about it. Files are missing, files are being hidden, yet some few individuals are busy earning from the state government pocket in the disguise of actually ghost workers, people that are not even existing. So we hope that I think I must give it to them, these 220 million naira that have been saved from the over 2,300 ghost workers, like it's going to go a long way in helping them. Like we just talked about the Abacha's loot. We hope that this money is not also going to end in some few individuals' pockets, but at the end of the day, it shall be used for public good. If there are needs to employ more people, then that should be done. And then I like the fact that they actually made it known that this verification is going to continue. I think even here in Plateau State, there are also plans on that. And well, that's a good move, because we cannot continue on this trajectory of some individuals that are not even doing nothing, are just sitting down at home and just earning from the state treasury. So we give it to them, and like they said, 2,300 in some states. To amaze you to see that the numbers of ghost workers double this. And we cannot say, oh, see, we are in a digital age, and we cannot continue like living in analog. The world is advancing in terms of technology, and we must introduce it. We cannot sit and say some of these things are being fought by certain individuals because they know it will work against them. Because they know that they are busy stealing from the treasury of the government, and that's why they will never allow such procedures to be taken. But we like the move, and we encourage other state governments to actually tour the same path so that they will ensure. And I think people that have been found wanting in this aspect should be punished. They should be made to face the laws. Let's not just shy away from, because there are people that have been aiding this for long. There are people that will say, see, I'll put your name. You don't have to come. You just be getting salary and you'll be giving me certain percentage. So we should be able to ensure that the people that are behind this are being made to face the law. They should be prosecuted so that this venture will become unattractive to other people that are already planning to tour the same path, or people that are already doing it in other states will start seeing the need to actually desist from such act, because it's uncalled for. It is evil. It is sheer wickedness.
Yeah, because like you rightly say, I hope that other states will really look into this if truly they want to fight all of these things, because we can't tour this part and then you expect that we'll be great as a nation, we'll be great as a state. Just imagine this 220 million. Let's say, for instance, the government, the state government will now say every month we are pushing this amount into education. Just imagine how it's going to transform that particular sector.
Think about the people that are also showing up at the work that have not been paid. In that same state, there are people that didn't even get their arrears since April, and yet some people are busy earning 220 million naira monthly. But I'm glad that the governor is able to pay like some of the arrears of some of its workers, and also even some of the local government workers that were not paid. Like they were not paid in June, they were also paid, and we give it to him, and we prayed and hope that other state governors too are going to do the needful in terms of paying, giving the worker what it actually deserves, and then trying to look out for all these potholes that are actually detrimental to the treasury of the state.
Well, Joyce, thank you so much. This is the much that we can take. I would say thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Yeah, viewer, we sincerely appreciate you for allowing us, to do this together. Let's do this same time, same station tomorrow. Bye-bye, and God bless you.